going to see this one go right to the top, my friends, and we're going to see it happen this Saturday on American Bandstand. I think I'll play it again. Put down that girl and lend an ear to the Four Seasons. Sherry, Sherry, baby, Sherry, Sherry, baby, Sherry, Sherry, baby, baby.
Guys, that sound. I love that sound. I've loved that sound since Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons started making that sound. Well, I mean, that's at the very beginning. How does it happen?
I mean, it's the quintessential sound of this era, you know? Like this four-part harmony, kind of doo-wop kind of sound that was captured, you know, by the Four Seasons and the Four Freshmen and all sorts of kinds of bands from the 50s and 60s.
Tell us who you're playing in the show and a little about who that Bob Gaudio character is, for example.
Sure. Well, I'll start. I'm Drew Gehling. I play Bob Gaudio in the show. And Bob was the songwriter, and as you know, the show kind of suggests the brains of the group. He was the final person to join, and once that eventually happened, that was when you saw the hits like Sherry and Big Girls Don't Cry and Walk Like a Man.
Things really happen when he joins. Brian, you're the trouble of the group.
Yeah, that's right. I play Tommy DeVito. Oh, I'm Brian McElroy. Play Tommy DeVito. I play rhythm guitar. And he likes to consider himself the leader of this group from the very beginning and to the very end. You know, he seems to lose a little bit of grip on it, but I don't think that he would ever admit that.
And you're a Chicago boy.
That's right. That's right. I mean, well, technically I grew up in the suburbs, but you know, you say you're from Chicago. Chicagoland seems to really
Skokie counts, Glenview counts.
Exactly. Yeah. So I grew up in Elk Grove. So so it's nice to come back. And the hardest thing about doing this show is making sure the Chicago accent doesn't come in, but the Jersey, because you know the hard A's, you know, from Chicago.
Michael, you're the clean freak here.
Yeah, my name is Michael Ingersoll, and I play Nick Massey. He's one of the more fastidious characters, I suppose. He also is the bassist, the bass vocalist, and most importantly, was responsible for writing the harmonies in those early songs like Sherry, Big Girls Walk Like a Man. He wrote them in his head and then taught the guys by rote. You know, there was no sheet music or anything like that, so that was his main contribution to their sound, that tight harmonic blend.
And John, you have a small role in the show.
Yes. Tiny. My name's John Michael Dias. I play Frankie Valli. Yeah, he's the lead vocalist, that voice that nobody knew what it was, if it was a girl, if it was, you know, it's in this incredibly unique voice.
I love you, baby, and if it's quite all right, I need you, baby.
Now, you've met Frankie Valli. He's been to the show. I'm sure, you know, knowing he's in the audience and who knows whenever he comes back, you freaking out? You okay with it? You're saying, Frankie, we're here, we're good, relax?
He's just such a mellow guy, and he's just so proud of us and every other company. He's just really, really excited to see us do it. So it's incredible.
And like, you know, I don't know about when you guys auditioned, but like, you know, he was in the room, right, you know, when we were auditioning. So, I mean, there's no way anyone would be allowed to even do this show if he, you know, didn't give the okay, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
So.
And how about you met Gaudio as well? He's been here and involved. Reactions to him?
Oh, absolutely. Bob is a fascinating person because he's been very involved in this company, and as Michael said, had worked personally with us on blend and on harmonies and stuff, just to kind of get that authentic sound.
And when you sing Sherry, when it strikes you that we need the hit song Sherry, the audience, every time I've seen it, goes bananas.
Yes. There's just, when you start the show, you haven't heard any real songs that the Four Seasons have put out, so when it actually hits that moment in the show, it's just this amazing payoff. And doing it, it's still, you're staring into that camera and you're like, there's still this goosebumpy feeling of like being there, and the audience of today becomes the audience of the 1960s, so it's an amazing thing every night.
Walk like a man, fast as I can. Walk like a man from you.
The show is about blue-collar guys from, as I think you all say, the wrong side of the tracks. And going against the Beatles, going against the Beach Boys, going against all this stuff. Why does the Jersey Boys, the Four Seasons and Frankie Valli, why do they work when they come from where they come from in this country?
They're an American dream story. I mean, these are guys that had nothing, that rose from, you know, a blue-collar society. They could have been anything. They could have been laborers, they could have been electricians and carpenters, but instead they became some of the most popular pop musicians in history. And people like an American dream story. They like to see that work ethic and that grit succeed.